guys just need to hear this amazing new
I
beat
think
that's
it's time
happening.
to get this thing started. Here we go. Pass that back to the gang of boys.
That's right, you're listening to the Plugged In Podcast with Mr. Boo and the very lovable DJ Shy. That's right, welcome back to another episode of the Plugged In Podcast with me, Mr. Boo, your friendly neighborhood hype man, and my co-host DJ Shy.
Hey!
Reggae air horns all the way because Shy is a DJ. Thank you for taking time off to watch this episode wherever you are. We hope you like the content that we have put out so far.
Yep.
Alternatively, you can listen to the audio version of this episode on our Spotify. Before we introduce our next guest, we'd like to thank our partner, The Basement Studio, for joining us on this journey by providing us this excellent space, also the technical and recording capabilities.
Yes. Also, shout out to Norman and Beyerdynamic for all these amazing mics, hooking us up very, very well, making sure we sound good wherever we are. Also, for all these musical brands that you need, like Zoom, Mackie, do hit up CD Music for all the gears that you require.
Yeah, shouts out to the sponsors and the partners.
Yep.
All right, we're not going to waste any more time. We have a very special guest for this episode. Is our friend Hund.
Woo! What's up, everybody? This is Hund. My name is Hund, H-U-N-D, not Hun, not Hyun, not Hon. Yeah, it's Hund. Yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of people have mixed up your name, right?
Yeah. Because like they can't really pronounce
Yeah,
that,
your name,
so
right.
no choice.
So, people watching, it is spelled H-U-N-D,
Yes.
but pronounced as H-A-N. Hund.
Yeah, close, but it's like 100, you know? H-U-N-D-R-E-D.
Yeah, but
Hund and Red.
some local people cannot
yeah lah,
divide
yeah
the
lah.
word ma. So Hund
Yeah,
got
so-
the D, right?
Yeah, got
so
the D.
Hund.
Yeah, Hund with the D. Yeah.
Okay, so reintroduce yourself and tell us what you do.
Okay, so basically I'm a independent financial broker. Okay, so I work at Synergy FA. Yep. So basically, what we do is we can provide like different kinds of products and solutions for all the different kind of people with different needs, I would say. Yeah. So basically, if you want to simply say it, then insurance agent.
Correct lah.
that's
He
the-
dragged so long.
Yeah. So, we were waiting, bro. We were
waiting for him to
So-
correct himself. Okay lah. It's not a bad thing lah. But he just has a nicer title.
But is it a bad thing for them to change their name from insurance agent to a financial advisor?
yeah, do you get like different approaches, or people react to you differently instead,
Yeah.
knowing that you are called a financial, what is it?
Financial advice. Independent
Financial advisor.
Yeah.
Over insurance agent.
Yeah.
I would say because I'm in a financial advisor. It's like we are in a FA lah, you know. So usually like in a FA, we are more like a broker kind of working style. So we can provide like different companies lor. So like some certain companies like company A, B, then they will only be from A and B, right? So if you want C or D or E, you they cannot provide lah. So it's a bit different. I mean, they also doing like what they do, just that we have more options for people to choose lah.
Okay.
You know, so we can like mix and match a bit.
So okay, I remember you told me or you told us about it before, but just to recap, how do you get into this line?
Yeah.
I remember a story like you were sick,
Because
right?
I know you as a DJ, bro. Like, that's how we go back. Yeah. Like,
I know you as a hype man lah.
Yeah. So basically, I would say me as myself, you know, when I was like after studying, I also used to, you know, people very skeptical about the insurance industry last time.
So before you became an advisor, you also like the typical normal people lah, also like quite skeptical.
Yeah, a bit lah, because you know there are a lot of like you hear a lot of stories, be it good or bad, right?
Yeah.
So, but of course, for me, after like going through all the learning process of how to or what actually a financial advisor do, then I thought about what happened to me when I was like 5 years old lah. So basically, you know, my dad passed away very, very long ago, right?
Yeah.
So then I do remember like certain stories, like my mom told me like, you know, you got insurance, you got this, you got that. But over the years, I'm like, the insurance like go where? You know? So that's the point where I realized, you know, after having the knowledge.
Your mom tell you that when your dad passed, you had insurance.
Yeah.
For yourself.
Yeah, for like us. But he don't have.
He don't have.
Yeah, he don't have.
Oh, so that's the reason. That's the reason when you
Oh.
say where did the money went?
Yeah,
There was technically no money
supposedly,
lah.
like, you know, I have like certain insurance, this and that, blah blah blah. But
Yeah.
behind, as time passed, then because I used to get like birthday cards, you know, for all these like insurance stuff. But after that, like no more ma. You know, where no more card, all this. Then I realized like, you know, the one that is actually paying for the insurance is my dad. But once he passed away, right?
Oh, everything stops.
Stops lah.
My mom has to pay lah, but my mom couldn't keep up because as a single mom, you know, you have a lot of
It's
things
tough.
to pay.
Yeah.
Then I would assume lah, you know, like he would have like insurance himself to cover for all this, but actually he don't have lah. So basically he bought a lot of insurance for my mom, me, my brother, but he don't really buy things for himself.
Okay, don't mind me asking, but when you say he didn't buy for himself, right? So when your dad passed,
Pass on.
Yeah.
there was
What
nothing
happened
lah,
there?
basically.
I will assume there is a bit, but not heavily covered. Yeah. So because he's the breadwinner, you see, my mom is housewife. You know, so I think the golden goose more important than the egg, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they don't cover the golden goose, cover the egg, Yeah. So I would say it's a wrong kind of planning, but of course that is like many years ago. So I realized like, if you know my dad were to have planned it properly, I don't know how like 20 years ago how all this stuff like really work but if you would have planned it properly, then maybe, you know, like my mom wouldn't have like suffer so much from being a widow at a very young age Yeah.
You were not having a struggle, basically.
Yeah, it will not be a struggle. I mean, I don't regret because like it made me who I am today. Yeah, but of course, I would also prefer if my future children won't like face what I face lah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Of course,
you know.
of course.
So you were also saying, I think before that something happened to you also, right?
Oh yeah.
That kind of like
Yeah. So another issue is so few years ago you know, when I don't really know Abu yet, but I think I know Shai already. So during that time, I actually had like acute renal failure.
What's that?
It's like the kidney renal is like the kidney function So basically, I had a acute, not like cute, but like one time.
He go like acute but not cute.
Yeah. No, because people say like cute you know.
They really say it that way?
Yeah, it's
like acute.
A-
Okay, I know acute is like a minor.
Yeah,
So
minor.
cute is a bigger one. No,
No lah.
no such thing, what?
No, like people will say, got cute, then ugly or pretty kind of.
Hey, ya Allah.
No, that is my friend say lah. Yeah, so it's a one-time thing. But it incurred quite a heavy cost lah.
Yeah,
so
I'm sure, man.
So I have to like be warded in the hospital for like 7 days about there. Then the bill is like 8,000.
How did you discover that you had that? What was the trigger?
Yeah, do you faint or something?
like
So I was feeling like very sick lah. So I didn't eat few days. You know, I puke, I diarrhea. So that came to a point where I like, you know, maybe I should just go and see doctor. Because last time when you're young, then you know like, wow, then if I go stay hospital, then I need to tell my mom. Then she'll be worried. Then she'll nag at you. You know. But I mean, health actually. I mean, now older already, like health more important lah. If you sick, just go and see.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was warded lah, and I didn't even told her until like the hospital called her. Yeah. So I was.
So you went to the
wait.
hospital on your own lah?
Yeah, I went myself.
So you were missing for a few days.
I was not missing. So I went. The doctor say, oh, you know, you can do the drip, then you can go home like by evening. So they did like some blood tests and stuff. Then they were like, oh, maybe you need to be warded. I'm like, no, I need to go home.
So you
Yeah.
went to hospital, you thought like, it will not be
It
severe
will be
lah.
a day thing, you know.
It's not severe. severe lah.
Then the doctor say, oh, I think you need to be warded. And he didn't say how many days. So I hope like maybe 1-2 days. Then maybe I can like tell my mom like, oh, you know, I go chalet or what. But that's very not good lah. Yeah, chalet is still a thing, you know. Yeah. So but after that he say maybe at least 5 to 6 days. Then I'm like, oh.
Okay, quite heavy.
Okay, so with that information, you call your mom lah.
No, I still don't dare to
Wow,
call.
you still don't want to call?
Yeah, because like 5-6 days is like
It's
very,
heavy,
very
oh.
serious.
Yeah,
thing.
very serious lah. Yeah,
So
yeah.
I mean, I will need to tell her lah, but I'm very stressed. I'm like, wow, how should I bring it up to her? You know. But then after that, at night, the hospital called her lah. So I don't need to tell her myself.
Okay lah.
Yeah, then I'm just like, you come, I was like, oh yeah, I don't feel well. Like she tried to nag.
You don't want to be the person that gives her the bad news lah. So you hand over that to the doctor lah.
Yeah, so the hospital don't know who lah, but yeah, then I'm just like, oh, I sick. Oh, don't tell me all this. I cannot hear. I hate pain. That kind of stuff. But of course, she's very worried lah. That's why she nag lah. But yeah, so the total bill came out to be about 8,000 to 9,000. I don't remember. It's about 8,000 to 9,000 lah. So lucky that time, right? I have bought like insurance, hospitalization insurance lah, which basically cover like the cost.
Okay, so you said you bought, but this one is like, were you already in the know of like, I need to buy insurance, or like, never mind lah, you my friend, sign only lah, sign only lah.
So at that point of time, I felt that because single parent ma, then what it a bit makes sense to me that if I were to stay, then it will cover the certain cost. Then I don't need to tell my mom. Like same thing lah. If I were to stay for 2 days and I go home, I won't tell my mom also.
So when you bought this policy, right? It wasn't like, okay, I want to protect myself. I want to like have like a holistic way to protect myself lah. But it's like, if I get into trouble, I don't have to pay.
Because if 8,000, then I need to tell my mom like, of course 8,000. Then there's no chalet is gonna be 8,000. So at that point of time, I had it lah. Then because the time also like we do part time. We used to have gigs. So
wait, what was this? Was it you in poly or
like
you
poly time near the end of poly? Yeah, so I bought it lah, with just like just and it was not a friend lah. It's like some along the street, then some
pester you one lah.
Yeah, actually it started with a pester lah.
So the girl pretty
No, it's not a girl. Yeah.
See, girl only go up to his mind, sir.
Yeah,
No lah, I mean usually people succumb to that one.
He's telling you a serious story,
No wonder it took you so many years to finally reach out to me because I'm not girl.
Yeah, exactly.
If I girl,
I believe he has multiple policies, but he never follow up, right?
No, don't have.
Because the girl don't want to contact him anymore.
Yeah.
Okay, carry on.
Yeah, so I was quite lucky lah, So when the bill came, then I was like, that time I still like studying ma. So I was like, oh, no need to pay 8,000. Wow, lucky yeah. No, I'm very grateful. Like, oh, so last time of course a bit skeptical lah, insurance, but I'm like, wow, it really helped me. So when you really feel the pinch, in your wallet, and the pinch is like being relief, like, I pay you pay. So of course then I felt like, wow, actually quite important Because I only stayed and do drips, right? What if I almost had to do like a biopsy, and if the biopsy result is bad, right? The doctor say it might link to me having the need to go for dialysis. And he shared lah. So like, with the subsidy and stuff, the cost will be about 70K. If it's a very serious, I'll be like about 70K a year. I'm like, what? 70K? There's like, of course there's a subsidy lah, but I'm like, I'm not going to have 70K a year just to pay for dialysis. Yeah. Some of the time I student, I studying. My part-time job only give me like 1,000 plus a month. Yeah, so I'm like in shock. But luckily I'm healthy now, and also of course the bill was being paid lah, by my hospitalization insurance.
So from that experience, it gave you an understanding like, okay, actually having policies to cover you is important, and that's how you got into the business lah.
Yeah, so after that I'm like, oh, actually, this is something good lah, and it's important lah, So I mean, if you do a good job, then it will be important lah. Of course, there are like sometimes they got people complain this and that. Sometimes it might be, I don't know, it might be either person's fault lah, being not clear enough, or you never like give instructions properly and stuff. Yeah, but I feel like this kind of stuff can be, you can upgrade it lah, to give a better experience rather than like, or just sign here. You got to explain, do your disclosures and stuff. Yeah, so of course, this is up to like whoever you meet lah. Yeah.
Okay, the reason why we invited you here is, as you know very, very well, you've known us for very long. Shai and I, we are freelancers.
Yes.
We are considered SEPs, self-employed person. Right? And what we want, why we invited you here is because we feel that a lot of our friends who are freelancers and SCPs don't really have an idea of how important it is to have certain insurance policies.
True.
You know, number one, maybe because what they're doing is doesn't pay enough or is just not a priority for them lah. So what we're trying to do in this episode is to actually pass on information to our friends who are SCPs and freelancers, right? From you especially, what kind of policies can they look at? You know, like what is a beginner policy that everyone should have, or especially a freelancer should have? You know, maybe you can give advice on, okay, if you're doing this, maybe you need to do this or do that. You know, you need to have this, even though it's, you know, it might not be like affordable, but it's something that you might have to consider to be one of your
Of
bills.
course.
So maybe you can start from there.
Yeah. So I would say like you mentioned, right, the most basic tier, usually when I recommend, be it to whoever I meet, we would first it will be like the hospital one, which I own self claim or meet lah. Then secondly, it will be probably an accident.
First one, hospital one. Okay, you have explain to us more. Why and what is the hospital plan?
Okay, so basically, like, you know, everybody have a MediSave account.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, then even as freelancers, self-employed, you have to contribute.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, you declare, you contribute lah.
It's something you cannot run away from. So from there, your MediSave will actually pay for your MediShield Life lah, which is the basic coverage that the government give to all Singaporean PRs. As long as you have a CPF account lah, you will have.
MediShield, you're automatically.
automatically enrolled lah. You know? So even newborns, you know, automatic. So
what does MediShield Life do?
So it covers you, you know, if you were to be warded, right? It covers you up to a certain tier lah. So there's this like huge list of what they can cover, you know, like surgical table, like maybe what kind of ward you stay, you know, like A ward, B ward, C ward, then like all those stuff lah. So they will cover you up to a certain percentage, but it's not fully covered. So what if you go to like private hospital? Then of course the coverage is like prorated because it's going to be a lot more expensive.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so this is the basic lah. So of course government will of course ask the people to do the upgrade themselves lah. So it's like I give you the basic. Of course you want better, then you have to pay for it lah. So what we usually do is we will do like the IP. It's like integrated plan lah. So if you log into your CPF, you can see lah. If you have bought one, you will see like IP integrated plan. So it can be from all the different companies lah. So what it does is it gives you a boost in the coverage. Yeah, but of course there's still a lot of rules and terms and conditions.
When you say boost, is like we talk about say now MediShield Life, right? MediShield Life. So let's say we put it in a value factor lah. So let's say $100. Okay, MediShield allows you to offset with MediShield Life, offset $20. Let's say you still have to pay $80. So when you upgrade and you buy from all these companies, these different companies that offer an integrated plan, right? There is an option to fully offset the $100.
Okay, used to be fully.
Used to be fully.
Yeah, used to be fully.
Okay.
So
now it's still a certain portion, but then
yeah.
there's a portion that you still have to pay cash lah.
Yeah,
but the cash is not so much lah.
So I would say for now, most companies they no longer cover 100% lah. So it has been changed. You know, every time there's change. So for this, right, I would say it could at least cover you up to 95%.
Oh, that's okay.
Max, you know, and the 5%. From what I know lah, because we have multi-company. Usually, the 5% you have to pay, right? It doesn't exceed the 3,000 lah. Yeah, per year. So next year it will reset lah. Yeah. So what people can do is they have to look at this lah, because like you say, it's $100 is just an example ma. Like you will not have $100 warded. You know? It will be like few thousand and above. Of course with subsidies and stuff, but you see the gross bill, right? Like for me,
so MediSave Life, the MediShield Life, that is the subsidy, right? No.
Is that a plan, is it?
No, the MediShield Life.
The one that you automatically
they will
have.
cover you certain stuff. Then some subsidy also depend on like certain people. You know, like the pioneer generation, they also got subsidies. They a lot kind lah. You know, then so it's not only just that lah, but mainly it can cover you a certain amount. But if the bill is big, you know, like 10K, 50K, it go into the 6-digit, like 100K, that subsidy is not enough.
Yeah. It doesn't make a dent on the bill, lah. Yeah.
Yeah, so usually this IP, it can help to cover you as charged. Usually on the policy, they will say like as charged or to the full amount. Now, of course, there is this co-payment thing lah, which is why I tell you like they cover maximum usually up to 95%. No? Yeah, but I will say like you see 100K, your 5% is 5K, but it will not exceed 3K. So you pay like 3K, then 97K the insurer is going to pay for you. Where you want to find 97K?
Correct.
Yeah, that is like smaller lah. Because you know when they have like all the bigger surgery, like brain surgery, it's definitely more than that lah.
So a hospital plan basically covers if you are admitted to hospital lah.
You must be warded lah. Means like if today A and E, right, I go, then I sprain my arm, you know, then the doctor bandage, balik. Then it's not.
Yeah lah, there's like a consultation
So,
lah.
yeah,
but
yeah.
you have to be warded
Yes,
in a
warded.
hospital.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's say
okay,
now
okay.
you're warded in a hospital and within that ward stay, right, you got to do like you say just now, like okay, you in the ward 6 days, then they say you must do biopsy. Right? Because you have an hospitalization plan, that biopsy is also covered, right? Because you are already
with your warded, right? Then usually lah, like if you have to do certain procedures, it will be included lah.
within the hospitalization plan lah. Okay, so number one, important for freelancers is hospitalization, right?
Because like usually, okay, like let's say we have friends in corporate world, right? Yeah. They have like, oh, you know, I claim company.
Yeah.
You got no company to
Yeah,
claim
to
because
claim,
you
yeah,
freelance.
exactly.
You
Yeah.
know, of course it's not the best lah. You cannot claim like huge amount, but at least they can claim something lah.
Yeah.
But for freelance is you
Totally
claim
zero.
yourself ah. You
Yeah.
are your own boss ah. You know, so you still have to get it covered because like there are a lot of things that can happen ah. You know, illness, because hospital it doesn't like mean like, oh, you must accident. You know, can be illness, can be like cancer. You know, like, so there's a lot of like I've met a lot of friends and families. You know, they have like members who have cancer. You know, and when they have cancer, right, they have to do like chemo. You know,
Yeah,
it's not cheap.
somebody was telling me that a majority of cancer patients, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, they die not because of cancer. It's because they cannot afford chemo, right?
Yeah,
To
but
get better, right?
Yeah,
like
but
the chemotherapy is actually very, very expensive.
it's not cheap lah. It depends on how severe.
So if you have insurance that covers chemotherapy,
It gives you the option lah.
you have. I'm not saying you'll be cured lah, but there will be a higher chance that you can prolong your life, right?
Yes.
Does
Because-
all the plan that you mentioned, like different tiers or this, do all of it cover cancer or just like up to a certain, let's say only tier A, it will cover cancer's cost and
Oh no, so basically it will cover your bill ma. So usually you do like, you know, but of course first thing most important is before you buy it lah, you have to be healthy lah.
that one important.
That is very important,
Yeah,
okay?
yeah.
Because cannot be I have cancer, then I buy. Then I claim. Then the insurers cannot insure you.
Yeah, bohua lose lah.
Yeah, lose money lah, you know. So that is very important lah. So let's say if you are healthy, you know, then over the years, maybe 10 years later, then like this person A, he have cancer, you know. So maybe he not warded lah, but he have to go back to the hospital to do chemo, you know. So different companies will have different tiers of coverage lah. Of course, you have to refer, but usually they will still cover like chemo and radiotherapy. So this cover, usually they will cover, they should be able to cover like the whole cost lah. As long as you don't exceed the limit per year lah, you know. Yeah, so they will, so anytime you go back for chemo and stuff, then they will back end they will do the claiming for you lah. So you don't really need to do much. Yeah, other than declaring the first time that you know.
Sorry, you said up to a certain per year. That means there's a quota, is it?
Yeah, so every year there's this limit lah. You know, different company have different limit. So let's say company A is like 500K is the limit.
Oh.
Yeah, but usually you won't claim chemo until 500K lah. If
So but
500K,
every year reset lah, right?
yeah, so next year the 500 will reset
again,
Yeah, but of
It's
course,
like your MediSave now got the 700, right?
yeah,
The critical what is it called? it's a critical illness thing or something. I don't know what illness is it lah, but you can actually offset medical bills.
Yeah.
Right?
Last year,
Every year, it's something like that,
so
right?
usually all those, like if you look at the MediSave, right, they have the MediShield lah, not Save. The MediShield, they have the limit. So usually the limit they will say is per lifetime, means you claim finish then finish. But some is like limit per annum or per year. So this thing will reset when your policy reset every year. Yeah, so this is something that people don't know also lah.
Yeah,
so,
I don't know.
Yeah, so yeah lor. So you do the claim, then they will pay for you your bills and stuff. But of course, there will be some stuff that might not be claimable. You know, there's so wide range. I couldn't tell you like every single detail lah. But when you were to have the policy, right, the wording they will explain lah. So you can read through. But most general like hospitalization stuff, you know, warded and stuff, it will be clear like me. I just have to drip, renal failure. I mean, I would say lucky is acute lah. You know, if it's not, I will still be covered and they will pay for my dialysis and stuff. Yeah, so this is the number one important that I feel like should have, because
regardless whether you are a freelancer or whatever.
Yeah, because first this IP, right? First is the basic tier of the IP. You can pay with your MediSave. You don't need to pay cash. I think for freelancers, you have like a cash flow issue lah. In case like, you know, like COVID now, you might not get as much.
Yeah, so if you get IP, the basic tier can be paid by MediSave lah, right?
Via MediSave per year lah. And I would say like, you know, it will not cost a lot. You know, it will probably be like, you know, our age, like 20 plus to 30, usually is less than 200-300.
A year, right?
A year lah. Yeah. So
the basic one lah.
The basic one lah. You don't go for like private lah. You know, like just normal government kind of like good enough. I think our Singapore hospitals are, I mean, good enough lah. You know, overseas people actually come to our Singapore. So
actually that's true.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Of course, the only bad thing I feel like if you are government hospital, you have to queue lah. Private, you know, cut queue lah. Yeah, but of course, if you want to budget, then of course you cannot cut queue lah. Yeah, so I think that's more important. Then second part, of course, to boost the coverage to the maximum that you can get, you have to pay certain cash lah. Then like I say also, the government tier kind of coverage is not as expensive. It's not that expensive as well. Yeah, so it can be covered lah within your means lah.
Okay, so hospitalization plan now done. What's the next?
Yeah, so you remember just now when I told you about the part where, you know, I fall down, I fell from my bike, then
you go
bandage,
AD,
and I go home, right? Yeah, you cannot claim, this one cannot claim hospital because never stay,
Yeah.
But it's like an accident, right? So a lot of freelance, I would say like even like, you know, you do Grab food, you know, some people ride bicycle.
Yeah.
So accidents happen.
Yeah.
You know, you are a very safe.
There's a possibility that it can happen lah.
Like someone can cause it to you, don't
Yeah,
need to be
yeah,
you cause to
Yeah,
yourself.
that one very
It is the
people
worst,
forget.
yeah.
You might not do something to yourself.
Yeah, but you
people
cannot
might
control the world, you see. Yeah.
Yeah. So there was this time I was in the bus, you know, then the bus suddenly break. Then this bigger size person she
Why you look at me, sir?
Because among the three of us,
he points, so I just look.
among the three of us, you are the biggest size person.
No,
what?
like I know, like you were point, like I saw it, but then he's trying to be very subtle. Like he don't want to be rude. I get it, bro. But then your eyes are like very fast. Like, wait, bro, why?
Quick glance.
Quick glance. Hit. Okay, carry on.
Yeah,
so this bigger size lady,
Yeah, she sort of like
she fell forward lah.
Yeah, so she actually like sprained my leg because she like stepped at my ankle area.
Okay.
It was like quite a while ago.
Okay.
Yeah, then I had like a really swollen ankle for like a week. But I have to like go see like, you know, TCM, find the uncle, go and do the thing. Or I can even go to the hospital lah, you know. But I won't be warded because of this. So the accident plan actually helps to, you know,
Cover this
like smaller issues.
Oh, even TCM, do they cover TCM?
Yes, so usually lah, you know, most companies nowadays lah should at least cover TCM and chiropractor lah.
Oh, chiropractor should they cover?
Yeah, so usually lah.
Oh, but you must have
But
an
it must be an
first lah.
accident lah. It must be an accident.
You
So
must need it lah.
Yeah, must need it lah.
yeah, you cannot like, you know,
you cannot like
wake up.
suka
Yeah, you
visit
wake
lah.
up then today back pain lah. You know, this is, this is not right lah.
Okay,
Also, yeah.
okay. So besides like this hospital thing, what else? Why do you think this accident policy is important, especially for people in like the freelance industry or the SEP industry?
Yeah, because I would say, like I said just now, like accident is something that you cannot control, So, I would say it, like, that if on the day you accident, then maybe you cannot go work.
Yeah.
You already, like, don't earn that day's worth of, revenue lah. Then you still have to pay money for your leg.
Yeah.
And then is it right to say that, let's say I'm very cash tight. I won't even want to see a doctor to
Because
cover
the
my
money
leg.
will have to come out, right?
Yeah. So it's like a negative, then negative again. But then if you have this like certain coverage, you will like, oh, I can pay first, but I will get back the money. Because it's like an accidental claim. I would say, of course, you have to consult your advisor, in regards to, like this kind of situation, can it be under an accidental claim lah? Of course, it's best to ask lah. You don't just see first, then a few thousand, then you want to back claim.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you should always consult first, But normal sprain, like some accidents, I think it's like common sense lah. So you can just go. So I would say like if my mom, if she were to sprain her wherever, right? Then she's the typical auntie, she'll be like, yeah, no need to see one lah.
Actually, I'm like that also.
Yeah, usually the older generation, and because they are older, right, they are more prone to this kind of accident. Yeah, so then they won't want to do it for the sake of their health. They would rather sacrifice their health for that few $100 of a one-time treatment or whatever. So I feel like as a freelancer, right, then let's say you have a family, right, you cannot sacrifice your next few days of work or your health to save that few dollars, then you sacrifice your health. That will affect you to earn lesser maybe. Let's say it's a more laborious kind of work,
But okay, so this accident policy, right? You were mentioning that you lose income. Right? Let's say for example you have an accident, you lose income. Is there a possibility that with certain plans you are allowed
To claim
back certain
Okay, so for
compensate,
different
certain part,
companies, from what I know, different companies, certain companies, they have certain like riders. It's like a upsize, So you want to upsize the fries, right? So you can upsize, pay a bit more. Then they would probably, there are a few options. Some would actually pay you like a hospital cash. So let's say if today you stay hospital because of the accident, then you warded like maybe 2-3 days, they will actually pay you a cash.
a
A certain amount lah. Yeah, that will depend on what tier you buy for your debt lah, to compensate you. Then the other kind of upside is usually, let's say if you were to be MC, 5 days MC, then they will have like, if you MC like a week, right? So every week I will pay you this amount if you MC. But of course, let's say if the amount is $200, it's for the 7 days lah. So you have to divide by 7 days, then times the 5 days.
Is there I don't know lah whether there is a scheme like that, but whether it's insurance, it's accident or hospitalization, right? Is there policies where you don't pay anything at all? Like for example, like you say you pay first, then get back reimburse
Yeah.
Is there is there policies whereby they fit in the hospitalization and accident that you just submit a document, right? Then you don't have to pay anything at all means you don't go through the process of reimbursement lah. Everything is already settled already.
I would say,
is there something like that?
I would say most medical usually claims on bill, right? Because like I say, usually things can be claimed if it's like very generic lah. So there are also times where things might not be able to claim, So you cannot have a process where they will just straight away pay for you first. Because if the thing you submit, actually this one is like not within the area of claim lah, then they cannot ask you for money back, right? And then confirm got a few hundred people, then one by one ask. So won't have lah. Usually for medical is always a back claim.
Go back to hospitalization. So now let's say your bill 100k, then you say 97k is offset. You definitely need to pay the 3k. Okay? That 3k, can it be because it's already insurance covered, right? It's already like the case is already go through all the insurance agent, everything, and you know that this is a claimable case. So that 3K, right? Do you still have to pay first, or is there a policy or a rider that
Usually
you can add
they
on?
will- when
that
they
the 3K
bill you
is
lah.
like now hospital talk to insurance company.
So
you are not in the picture
So
anymore.
the balance 3K, right? Usually you have to pay yourself, man.
Must lah. Usually it's a must lah.
So there won't be like the day you leave, then you must pay this lah. Usually they will say your bill, invoice, whatever. Like your outpatient summary, all that stuff. So usually usually government hospital lah, you can pay within a certain period. They won't ask you to pay.
So
on the
it's not
spot
it's not as. So what I'm thinking, like he's answering it lah. It's like sometimes 3K, I don't have that money to
Your cash tight.
to cash tight lah, So but the thing is that because of the flexibility of hospitals,
Some part
it's
of it
still okay
actually, like there are some stuff that cannot be paid by MediSave, or there's a limit lah. So the 3K, like maybe there are certain stuff you can still use your MediSave to offset the 3K. So it brings down the overall hard cash payment.
Okay, so hospital, accident. Anything else?
This one is the two most basic.
Two most basic one lah.
Yes.
Okay,
Then,
but is there anything else you feel like as a freelancer or SEP, you should also try and have?
I would say that for me as long as you have liabilities, like you have family, children, right? Life insurance is something you should definitely have lah.
If you have liabilities,
Yeah.
okay, liabilities. Okay, you say a family
Then it will
and
be more
children.
important lah.
Okay, you said that liability is family or children, right? So everybody has family, what? Like for
Yeah,
example,
I have
like
mom and dad,
okay,
yeah.
now put our situation, we got parents, right? Is that considered a liability?
It depends, lor. Okay, so I would say like let's say usually like you're not married but you have old parents. So would you assume that if let's say, because I'm still young but if I'm not around, right, then my mom have to find money for herself. Let's say I don't have siblings also lah. That means no one's gonna take care of her when I'm not around. So would I want her to have at least, I don't want her to go McDonald's work you see. I would want her to have at least enough lah. I mean,
Cover
because
day-to-day basis
day to day. So I would say like my mom. Let's say my mom is like 55. Then my grandmother passed away when she's about 80. So let's say my mom also like live until 80 lah. That's like another like
25 years.
yeah lor.
So this is in the case whereby if you die or something happens
me.
to you that doesn't allow you to work or whatever lah. So a life insurance technically covers
Like your income,
the income
your
that
future
you,
income.
future. Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay,
so
okay.
it's you can call it like income replacement or whatever lah. There's so many names, but basically it's just this money that can help. Because to me, like like life insurance is not for you because when you are not around, you don't get to use it. But it's for the people who are left behind.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So of
Because
course,
you
like
will not activate. If let's say you are, for example, sorry I interrupt you. Let's say you cannot work in sense of like you cannot walk or you cannot move your
paralyzed.
limbs. You're paralyzed.
Yeah.
But you can still speak, no. But it's just that you
like vegetable,
but you can still talk,
semi-vegetable.
Yeah, but then it still affects your earning possibility, right?
Yeah, so that
then
one-
your parents need to take care of
Yeah,
you.
so there are different kind of coverage in like life insurance that let's say I'm paralyzed, so they'll pay you this amount if you are paralyzed. So this amount, right, will go to me lah, of course, but of course like my mom will see. My mom will have to take care of me Sometimes if you want to go check up, right, need to sit. Maybe got social service. That is good lah. But if you don't have, you have to take all the Grab.
Yeah, it's a case by case basis, right? Because I remember I was talking to him, right? That I think I have a life policy lah. So, but the thing is that I told him that if I die, right, like when you die you get an amount of money. I told him that I didn't want the amount of money to be so high. As long as it can cover funeral expenses, I'm fine. Because I know for a fact that my mom, right, even without my stepdad, will be able to survive if she has to take care of me. Like if I'm paralyzed, right, she don't have to work McDonald's. She got enough in her war chest for me to take care of me if I'm paralyzed.
Oh,
Or
she gila babi,
if I die, right, I won't have to worry how are my mom going to survive. So it's a case by case basis, right?
Yeah. So the amount is not everybody fixed lah. Yeah. So because you don't want to, because it's like you don't want to overpay for what you don't need also mah. Because you already say freelance, you don't really want to spend too much. So you should at least have what you need lah for the next, let's say, 10, 20 years. Or let's say even if the budget constraint, then maybe at least the next 10 years, you know, to enough to cover the next 10 years lah. But of course, to want to cover how long is based on the client itself lah. You know, some client I want to cover until 50 years later, until my grandson go uni, also can.
But
it's just like
but you
the
pay
budgeting,
more lah.
you have to pay more and stuff lah. So it is catered to person basis. Yeah, but I feel like it's important, like I say, because you are the breadwinner mah.
Yeah.
You have to cover all these costs lah.
Is it like unnatural cause, or it can be either way? That means you can, like say you are 80, you die peacefully kind of thing.
Yeah, so okay, so
Does
for
it
like
activate still?
death insurance, like let's say life insurance that cover death, as long as you are not like, you know, like doing something unlawfully,
Oh, okay,
you cannot be like money heist, then you die. Of course, it won't pay you the insurance. But let's say, you know, like natural death, illness, accident. Yeah.
As long as it's legal, then it probably
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay.
So you spoke about three now. Hospitalization, accident, and life important. Okay. I've always wanted to ask this. Because as freelancers, right, we spoke to Mings from Sidley also, right? And he was saying that, freelancers, you need to have a unique savings plan. You need to know how to like, bespoke the savings plan according to you lah. You know how much to save, how much to invest. Are there policies that can do both? Help you save as well?
I would say personally, usually I don't put like, let's say if it's a life insurance, I will not lump it with
Savings plan.
lah.
Okay, why wouldn't you do that? I mean, why you would say no to this to a freelancer?
So because usually, right, like if it's a savings plan, right, that means there would be a day you want to take out the money.
Correct.
But then if the day you want to take out the money, then if it's a together, right, that means your insurance not really there. Let's say it's a generic insurance, then your money won't be there anymore. Your insurance won't be there anymore. Then what if a few years later, then you need insurance. Then by the time you're already like 50, then it's going to be a very high cost. Yeah, so it's best to separate lah, because like there are ways like, you know, like certain ways like investment, savings. If you have an option like, if I cannot save anymore, you can stop but your insurance still goes. But if you lump together, right, either way is going to affect. I will try not to lump it together lah. Of course, there are certain hybrid policies that, you know, it's like savings and investment, but also cover life at the same time.
But it's like
It's a hybrid.
two
lah.
separate tranche,
Yeah.
but it's still one lah.
Yeah,
right?
but I think freelancer, I feel like, you know, you shouldn't lump it together lah. Yeah, because like you affect either way lah. So like, you know, and especially freelancers, you don't really contribute to like your CPF as much because you only do like MediSave. You know, your
you don't have a
OA,
fixed. You don't have a fixed.
Yeah,
amount
you don't
lah.
have a fixed
Fixed,
amount.
If you want to buy
income,
then if you want to buy house,
True.
you need to pay cash, right?
Yeah.
So they're like in like our platform. There are also platforms where we can help them to create like a saving investment account lor. So maybe you can treat it like a CPF lah. Just that it's not government hold your money lah. It's you have it there. Then from there you can treat it like a CPF law. So one day you want to buy a house, right? Or you got this pool of money. Yeah, better than you put in bank lah. You know, you just, let's say if you want to go for like low risk 2.5% like CPF, I think is quite doable lah, you know.
Okay, so besides the three things that you say, are there any how you say free
Coverage.
coverage that you can actually look into? Like say you say Medishield Life or whatever, right? Then I know there's CareShield Life, right? So can you explain to like maybe our you explain to our viewers, you know, okay, if you guys don't want to do anything, what you get that is already free is this. Okay, and what does this do?
Think like
Maybe
what
you
he
can
meant.
share with this. Because like some people don't know, you see.
Yeah.
Like, Like like you see just now you say the MediShield thing. I didn't know. Maybe I knew it lah, but I didn't know it was that term lah. So maybe like freelancers can go, hey, actually I got CareShield leh. I got this like I already have these things that can so-called cover me a bit lah. I just need to add on.
Are there plans that is already given?
There's already given to you.
Okay. So like you mentioned the CareShield Life just now, right? So CareShield Life is something that started last year lah. Last year.
No, go in detail.
Yeah, what
is it?
who benefit, who gets it or whatever, how?
Okay, so basically the CareShield Life used to, before this there's something called the Elder Shield lah.
Yeah, we know
so it
that.
covers like, partial disability for people who are 40s and above. Okay, so now government got new one. So it's called CareShield Life. It cover people from 30 to 40. Of course, this is because
Okay,
the
so
last time is 40 ma.
30 to 40 is CareShield Life.
Yeah.
Once you turn 40, it converts to
No,
Elder Shield.
the from last year onwards, 30 years old to 40 years old. Because last time is 40 years old, then have Elder Shield, right?
So if
Then
you start
it
at 30,
30. But of course, there's a 10-year range of people who don't have, because they haven't 40, right? So the government one shot cover this 10 years.
So forever
gap.
now, if you 32, forever will be CareShield lah. But if you today 42, you will be in Elder Shield lah.
You would already have been covered in Elder Shield.
Okay. So what you said disability. So what kind of disabilities?
Okay, so basically, right, what CareShield Life does is it cover under them lah. It's cover 6, as long as these 6 daily activities that you cannot do out of 3, means 3 out of 6 you cannot do, right? They will have pay you a certain small amount
Every month
to help you to
for the rest of your life.
Yeah, but of course this is like a long-term disability
for the rest of your life lah.
for CareShield Life, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the 6 would be first is like transferring.
Transferring?
Yeah, means like
one
you
place
get
to another
down,
place
you get
ah.
down from bed,
From like chair go to another chair kind of thing. Okay.
Then you'll be like walking lah, so normal walking. Then after that you have to go to like the toilet, right? So this is basically is what you do every morning lah. So you come up from your bed, right? So it's transferring. Then you walk to the toilet. Okay, you
Use the toilet.
So that one is the peeing and all that stuff. Then after that there's the showering. Then after that you have to wear clothes after you shower, wear clothes. Dressing. Then last one will be feeding like makan.
So in these 6,
out of the 6
as long as 3 you cannot do yourself,
they will have
you qualify lah.
amount.
Okay.
So they will pay you about $600 a month.
Until you die.
Yes. As long as you are still,
Alive,
partial lah. So like like if you have like a short car accident, but it's not a long term, it's only 2 months, then of course it's not claimable lah.
What do you mean? I don't understand.
Let's say I'm only partial disabled for 2 months.
You cannot claim for the 2 months, man?
No, cannot. It's a long term thing. So usually to claim, right? Yeah. So usually to claim, they will after 3 months, they will have the doctor to assess you to process with the claim and stuff. So the attending physician will write out of the 6 he will tick then report, then on after that, right, then they will proceed with the claim lah.
Okay, so let's say scenario. After 3 months, the doctor come and see you. You still cannot do 3 out of 6. Okay, so he take everything. Then you can start the claim.
Then you submit lah.
Then the
CareShield Life will because CareShield Life under government.
Yeah.
Then the government will pay lor.
Okay, so let's say now approve. Miraculously, by a God's miracle at the 1 year mark, you start to get better. Right? Then instead of now 3 cannot
Let's say you
do,
recover lah.
recover. So they pay up to that 1 year lah. Then when you recover, they stop lah. Okay, they stop. Okay, let's say you recover for 1 year, they stop for 1 year, then relapse lah. Okay.
Then you have to
Then
submit,
start again lah.
Yeah.
Okay lah. So at least they cover you until you get better lah, or you pass on lah.
Yeah. So this basic policy is by the government lah. So like the hospital, right, is paid using your MediSave lor. So there's no cash outlay lah. So of course
Technically it's free lah.
free
lah.
it's cashless.
Oh,
not free.
cashless.
Cashless.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's cashless. You don't need to pay cash, but yeah. So that's why I think because you still need to contribute your MediSave anyway. So yeah, you can
And
use the money.
technically, MediSave, what do you use for?
Basically, it's for you to pay like your medical stuff lah. But if you
already have insurance, right? Then the insurance deduct from the MediSave. Technically, MediSave will not be touched, right? Because the insurance company is the one that pays the bills, right?
But there will be like certain time where, let's say today I, have a severe flu or fever or whatever stuff, then you go like GP or polyclinic, then it's not hospital ma. Then it's also not an accident, but it's like a illness lah. Then there's also certain stuff you can pay using your medicine.
Oh really? You can go to GP
and you plug wisdom tooth.
Oh can
Wisdom
that one I
tooth
know.
can claim.
No, but I'm talking about GP, this GP thing.
Okay,
so
so
GP certain things you can claim.
once they refer you right to like hospital or what.
Okay, so you go GP, then usually GP will refer you to A&E, what?
Yeah.
Right.
So A&E, let's say you see lah, but you never ward, then you not accident also. Then like certain kinds of stuff you can claim. But of course the range is very big.
Very big lah.
So
Okay.
Yeah, very.
So you say this cash shield is cashless, but you also told me that day that there is an option
to do the upgrade. Yeah.
Right, okay. So explain that.
Okay, so like I said just now, right? The cash shield only pays you 600 lah. Technically, like for us, 600 not enough. So what the government do is, of course, I cover you lah. Like same, MediShield, I cover you a bit. But you want more, of course, you also top up.
Find yourself.
Yeah, so we can do this top up lah. So when you do the top up, right, you can use another portion up to $600 lah from
from MediSave.
For your MediSave to do this top up. So when you do this top up, right, based on your age lah, so different age, different price. So based on your age, you can find out what's the maximum boost you can get from this lah. So for example, like
it's still cashless
yes, it's still from your MediSave lah. It's still cashless.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So for example, myself, right, last year I turned 30, so I have CareShield Life as well. So I did the upgrade for myself at 30 years old. I mean, I can tell you lah, cause this is my own at my age lah. So I can for my company that I upgrade with, right, I can do about the CareShield upgrade is about 1.9k per month extra.
Oh, they pay out 1.9k extra on top of the 600. So
for myself at 30 years old.
So 2.5k.
Yeah.
Okay, if you don't mind sharing, without the upgrade, how much is it per year they are deducting from MediSave?
It's about 200 plus.
200
maximum
plus.
lah.
Maximum lah.
Depend because different entry age ma.
Okay, so now with your add-on right, how much are they deducting from MediSave a year? Give ballpark.
For me, is about one year is about 500 plus, around there lah.
Oh, 1 year they deduct 500
because I would want to go, because I can use 600, right? I would want to get the maximum I can use ma. Why I want to leave that a bit if it's cashless anyway for myself lah. So because I also self-employed, so I also need to pay MediSave.
You as
an advisor, we are also counted self-employed.
Okay.
So we also like that's what I'm recommending, because I'm also self-employed. My insurance company not gonna give me like some chaps card or what.
Yeah,
we have
lah.
to take care of ourselves. So that's why like the CPF part in the investment I mentioned. So we also do that.
It's about max is 600 a year lah.
590 something like. It will not be a 600 sharp.
Yeah, but the thing is that you say claim is max 600 lah. So you never go above 600 ma.
Yes,
right.
yes. Of course, let's say if I want more, right, I can do more lah. Let's say I want like 2005.
Then you pay cash
Then
lah.
of course I pay the extra. I top up the balance.
The balance lah.
So let's say if it's $700, I top up the $100 lor.
So without paying any cash per year, about $560. Because you upgrade
It's about 590.
if you are disabled 3 out of 6, 2,500 every month the government give you, right? It's like that, right? Wow. So I feel like this is a very good
can top up even more
lah.
Yeah.
Because you don't, technically you're not coming out cash, what? Is your MediSave sit there also never do anything, what, right?
Correct.
Technically. So this is one of the things that we already auto included lah.
Yeah.
So okay, if
so
you want to
for
do
CareShield Life, right, you cannot do one. So last time the Elder Shield, right, they will send you the letter. Oh, welcome, you have joined ElderShield. If you don't want, please
Opt
return
out.
letter, then you can opt out.
Okay.
But
But
CareShield
CareShield
Life
cannot.
is compulsory.
Compulsory. But the thing is that the upgrade is up to you.
The upgrade is up to you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How do people do this upgrade?
So usually, we will do
Approach
through
a
advisors.
advisor lah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, but not every company can do lah. Yeah.
But
There's only a few companies
they are allowed to
They
do
are
this
allowed
lah.
to do
Okay,
this,
okay.
yeah.
But all financial advisors will be able to advise.
they should. I mean, those companies that cannot sell, like they don't have this upgrade option, right? They should know this option, Then, of course, if they don't introduce you, then it's up to them, lah. But I mean, they should know, lah. I mean, it's a big thing, lah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would say lah, roughly freelancers if you've been working consistently for let's say 5-6 years you should have about 5,000
In your MediSave?
in your MediSave lah.
Yeah.
Right, because you declare income what.
That
About
is
5,000
if
lah.
you declare income.
Yeah
lah.
lah. So if let's say you don't touch the money to do anything lah. Okay, let's say because it's what 590 right. Okay, you put at 600 lah. Say 600 lah. So 600 is about 10 months less than that lah. 9 months. 9 years. 9
9
years
years.
9 years. But if you're constantly working, the number will go up Then there's also you say what some hospitalization plan also use MediSave lah. So let's say total a year you spend $800 from your
MediSave.
MediSave lah. If it's about 5,000, you get a good 6 years, right? 6-7 years of coverage, right? If you declare every year also, you still
On top of it,
on top, right?
the MediSave account actually give you 4% interest a year.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So technically, like I believe
It's a very good coverage.
it's a very good coverage lah.
Yeah. So for like certain
But it doesn't cover a lot of things lah. But it's just like the what
for
if.
freelance
what
There's
if,
criteria
what if,
that you have to
Yeah
hit
lah,
also lah.
exactly,
That's the thing.
exactly.
because like for me, I've met like people who they have more in like when they are older lah, they have more money in MediSave, then they can do this upgrade right just by using the 4% interest.
To roll lah.
Yeah. So every year I get the interest right when I deduct whatever like hospital plan right. It's actually just deducting the interest that I get, the 4% that I get from it lah. So it's like
Yeah lah,
free lah.
If it's
like
10k,
cashless
if
and
it's
free
10k, 4% 400, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah lah.
So
Okay.
let's say if you already reach like 50k,
Yeah lah.
it's
right.
like about 1,000 plus a
It's
year.
just
lah.
upgrade lah.
Yeah,
No problem.
it's like, but people who don't have now no, it's like if people say I cannot upgrade, means they never declare income. They never contribute, right? Technically.
Yeah.
Okay, Han. So we already discussed what is automatic
Yeah.
that you're entitled and the 3 lah. Okay, are you allowed to reveal okay, roughly how much lah, ballpark lah, each plan will set you back, so that our viewers, our freelance
On the
viewers,
rough budget.
or let's say, like you say easy sekali one is 300, one is 150, one is 100. How am I going to afford like $550 a month?
Yeah.
You get me now? So maybe like basic coverage for each policy and the range lah, roughly.
Okay, so for the hospital one, right? The first one,
Yeah lah, be prepared to a minimum of how much okay.
So the mid tier, the government tier, as long as you don't go like private hospital, like I would say for 20 plus, means because our freelance friends, that is about 20 plus years old to about maybe 40 lah.
Yeah.
So I would say it will cost from 200 cash part. Don't say MediSave lah. Cash part 200 to maybe 400-500 lor.
A year or
A
per
year.
month?
A year.
Oh, a year. Okay, now we talk about
Because
a year.
the age different gap.
Okay, we
lah.
talk about a year. Because I heard like 200 a month. Wah, kali nak jalan.
Yeah, it's a year lah. A year.
Okay, 200 a year lah. Okay. So the range is 200 to 500 a
Yeah,
year.
based on the older, of course, the older.
Based
then
on,
more
yeah,
expensive
okay.
lah.
So then accident plan.
Accident plan is based on your job scope. So if you are a normal, like normal
9 to
freelance,
5,
like
yeah.
9 to 5, or you do office, or you do certain stuff, it will cost you, I think 100 plus, I think is enough to cover per year, not per month. Yeah, of course, if you are like a full-time driver, it will be a bit more expensive lah because you're on the road.
Yeah,
So
my dad's one is expensive because my dad's a driver. His one is quite high.
Roughly the high ceiling is roughly how much?
maybe certain company can be about twice the amount.
He-
But it will
give
still
me a
be
number
about
lah.
300 plus.
300 lah.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Within that range lah.
Okay.
For a normal
So
tier.
maximum for hospital is 5. Maximum for accident is 3.
350,
Where you're 8
yeah.
now. Okay, life.
So for the life, just like I mentioned, right? It's like a term plan lah. So of course, if you want to get a whole life plan, you know the old school kind of policy.
Until die one lah.
Yeah, it's definitely more expensive. So for a freelancer, right? If your budget is very constrained, because no way to do ma. So you can do. So what they have in the insurance industry is like a term plan. So the term plan is something that can give you a high coverage at a relatively lower cost. But of course,
Shorter period of time, right?
yeah, it's also in a shorter period of time. It's not like until 99 lah. Of course, you can buy until
Yeah,
99 years
I have a
old.
policy that expires next year. So that's my term plan, right?
Yeah, your term,
Okay.
the term finish next year.
Term finish already. Okay,
Yes.
okay.
So what it does is it covers you for a bigger amount at a cheaper rate lah, at a shorter time also. So the I would say the only bad thing is like, you heard about insurance, like older generation is like, wow, my installment finish can take out money that is like a old school whole life kind of plan lah. So they call it a participating plan where there's a cash value inside. So a term plan doesn't really have cash value, but it's you're in for the coverage.
Okay, but the thing is, I want to ask you about this about term plan. So you say you take 10 years, right? Term plan. Then nothing happened to you. Then within on the 9th year, you get diabetes. You cannot sign another term plan for another 10 years, right?
Yeah.
Right. You have to go and find a diabetes plan, right?
Oh yeah lah.
Technically,
I mean,
right.
In the
So
market now,
that's
there
the-
are like
that is the-
options for diabetes people. lah.
Yeah, but that's the bad part for a term plan lah. In case something
yeah.
happened to you, you cannot renew the plan again, right?
Yes.
You got to, okay.
Yeah.
Just want to clear that.
So some people like some people they feel like I don't want to pay so much for a whole life plan. They would probably buy like a term plan till they are like 65, 70. So they treat it like their insurance,
Yeah lah.
at a cheaper rate lah.
Yeah lah.
So but of course because it's cheaper, right? They have more cash. So they will take the cash to maybe like do investment, save somewhere, open business, So they also always say lah, there's this thing called buy term, invest the rest. Yeah. So some people do it, some people don't do it. So this is opinion lah. Different people, different.
Okay,
opinion.
so this life plan, right? Let's say for example, I take under 75 lah. Okay, average. What's the cost?
Average wow. Different company cost the quite.
Give me the range
the
the range
last I quote something on average for my age 30 years old is for deaf and disabled you don't count critical illness. So critical illness is
another
it's
add-on,
gonna
right?
is another add-on, but the price varies also. But if you don't, you just say about deaf and just like disability and stuff, I would say it's about 800 a year.
Just 1,600 a year.
That is like for me that is like 1 million If you have 1 million is a lot but if you let's say you want 500k, and of course
So 200 will be safe lah a month.
about there lor.
As a freelancer or SEP, if you have $200, you can put aside a month. Technically, you can cover yourself lah. Because you see if you take the life right, but you don't take the disability because you got cash shield to cover the disability, you can adjust it from there, right?
Yeah.
But just to have a the buffer money lah, 200 lah, 200 will be enough lah. Will you agree that $200 you set aside
For the basic lah, but better than nothing lor. I mean, when you work, you will always try to slowly want to earn more If you only gonna fix at this income range for your whole lifetime, then of course you're not gonna improve.
Yeah lah.
Yeah. So no matter even if you work at office, your pay will still increase. So things like inflation, you cannot always feel like I forever work at this is enough. So I feel like, of course, the coverage, this kind of thing, it can be adjusted lah. Because I feel like sometimes we will say, why I buy so little last time? But at that point of time, it's something already a lot.
Yeah lah.
Yeah. Then as things get cheaper, certain stuff get cheaper, then you'll be like, then you can increase in the future.
Yeah.
You can adjust lah. Usually, like your advisor can like give you options.
Okay, we're gonna end the episode lah. Okay, but before we end this episode, like Han, insurance agents always have like a bad reputation lah. You know,
Bad
like people
stigma,
always say, you know, like call me only. Surely you insurance agent, you want to sell me policy or whatever lah. You know. So I want you, Hund, to take this time to tell the people and the viewers, right, what is the misconception? Like for example lah, like you can say like don't be scared lah. We're not trying to take your money. You know, we want to. I want you to share with our viewers.
So, I would say right. Of course, there will be time where you meet is to want to do something. Maybe you want to sell or you want to do. But there will be times where we just want to meet up and like do some catch up and tell you some updates lah. You know, because there are a lot of times where your agent message you right. You blue tick lah, but you got see me. I mean, sad to say, sometimes they really don't see lah.
I cannot blue tick you like.
Yeah.
Because you're my friend, I cannot.
But there will be
our
other
advisor.
I have another advisor who like literally like Han sends birthday card.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, but I boleh him.
You never send me birthday card?
No. As in like,
No, not him lah. Another advisor, but I boleh.
I thought Han give you birthday card, never give me.
why need birthday card? You just straight away
Yeah,
go.
sorry. Okay, so continue.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So okay. See like when the advisor meet you, right? Yeah, you will feel like maybe he want to sell something. I don't know who lah, but let's say if you feel like you want to sell, but if you don't sign, then you don't need to buy. Why you feel like must
obligated
buy?
lah?
Yeah, it's not obligated. Okay, there will be times where like let's say like now like okay, Shai, we do this. Okay, so of course now a bit budget lah. We cannot do the max.
Yeah.
In future lah, we do. Then few years down the road, if I were to ask you out to do this, it's because at that time we mentioned,
yeah.
So it's
down
a
the road,
it's
a
but
follow-up
of course,
thing
usually we'll like put a note lah, or 2 years later lah, then we do this. But 2 years later, we find you will forget that we're supposed to meet.
Yeah.
You remember to meet me as a friend lah, but to do on like a
follow-up
planning
on the thing,
and this kind, right?
yeah.
People will tend to forget. So sometimes we will take small notes lah. So sometimes we'll text you, or sometimes we'll tell you like, like I mentioned just now, like like last time, hospital plan, they can cover like 100% ma. So now cannot cover 100%. So
You have to update.
yeah, so
you have to update your
first
friends
newspaper
and
got
clients
say,
lah.
first newspaper got say, website got say, CPF, like everywhere lah is on
But
the news.
we ignorant lah. You got read meh? I also don't know. I won't read
Yeah.
one.
Bro, the last time I bought newspaper just to read the live section at Straits Times, I remember read live section just to read the comics.
Yeah, exactly. You see?
That was the
Yeah,
only reason why.
so there will be times where they send you email and stuff, and you also won't really see lah. So sometimes where we meet, right, we will tell you this stuff. But at least when you meet face to face, I tell you like, oh really man?
We actually digest more.
Yeah,
lah,
but actually
yeah.
maybe the thing is like last year one, but you just don't want to meet.
Yeah
Then
lah.
1 year later, then I tell you. Yeah, because there are times I've heard lah from certain friends in the industry like, oh some client, their client go hospital. Hey, why must pay this one I thought 100%. I'm like, wow, the 100% already not available ma. Yeah, but they wouldn't know, So then it's like to them it's my advisor fault.
Yeah.
But it's not. I mean, okay, but maybe if the advisor like never even tell them or what, then maybe he should also update lah. But
Yeah lah.
at the same time, it's also your own responsibility.
Yeah, based on that, it takes two hands to clap. What? You
That's why
cannot
I always believe that your advisor should be your friend.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, we can be
someone
annoying at times, but
Yeah, but it's easier that way lah.
Yeah.
If your
Then I
friend
know-
is annoying to you, at least you know it's your friend.
Yeah, it's your friend lah.
Confirm,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because I always believe that like how you say people get skeptical because insurance agents they always think they're trying to sell them something.
Maybe I would say like
But
sometimes
the thing is that
maybe
you got to change that mindset,
Yeah.
Like for example, if you, you say like, okay, I know Abu is diabetic, right? There's this new diabetic plan. It
Yeah.
will be beneficial for him. Then you have to sell it to me.
Yeah, correct.
You have to tell it to me.
I
right?
think
Yeah.
it starts when how you sign your plan. If you sign by the roadshow, you just because
I guess those
you want to get
yeah.
free USB or you want
Yeah.
without you hoping to get the
Yeah.
number, then problem lah.
So the misconception is also like what? Okay, one thing, guys, I tell you with Hund, right? He is like how you say friend first, agent second lah. So that's the best part lah. You see, so he doesn't like the typical like disappear 1 year. Hey bro, how are you? That kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Catch up
That
for
one,
coffee.
catch up
Happy New
for
Year.
coffee. That one is like damn suspect one but he's not like that lah. So we just like we just want to tell everybody that how you say
Hans not like that.
no like I think majority of the insurance agents who are your friends are not like that lah. You know, you have to be a bit open-minded to things. Of course, they are still selling products, right? But the thing is that it's still beneficial to you in some way lah, in a sense.
I think it used to be like when you have no work, insurance agent lah, because it's easy to get. There was one point I was in poly or what, it's so easy to get into the line because like always hiring.
Because like no ceiling. Right?
Yeah, so
if you sell 1,000 clients, you can earn $1 million, right?
Yeah, so those people, I believe, they do it for the of it lah. But for people like Hund, who's really like, because he went
They care lah. Hund really cares
lah.
lah.
So
Okay, so we're gonna put Hund's contact in our description below.
Yeah.
So you guys can reach out to him.
fun,
I
right?
highly recommend him.
Slide my DM.
Yeah, slide into his DM.
That's so annoying.
Hund is my agent lah, so fuck it. I'm gonna say lah. Okay.
Hund is our agent.
Our lah. So that's why we wanna educate you guys lah what is available and what can be done and who can explain it perfectly in terms for a freelancer who can understand lah. You know,
Freelance
because
labor.
That's key for a freelancer.
To understand, right? Yeah.
Yeah, Hund is there.
Yeah.
Because he's a freelancer.
I also used to be freelancer lah. Before this job.
Yeah,
so
but now you SCP.
now I'm self-employed, but not freelance.
Okay, Shai, let's close the episode.
Okay, Hund, we want to say thank you for coming on the board. Coming on board with us.
On board.
Sharing your experiences, sharing your stories and everything.
No problem.
Yeah, we also like to say thank you again to our sponsors. The links to our sponsors and partners and our Spotify page will be on the description below. Once again, thank you for watching. My name is Mr. Boo.
I'm DJ Shai.
And this is the Plug-in Podcast. Till the next one.
Ladies and gentlemen.
You guys just need to hear this amazing new
I
beat
think
that's
it's
happening.
time to get this thing started. Here we go. Pass that back to the gang of boys.
That's right. You're listening to the Plugged In Podcast with Mr. Boo and the very lovable DJ Shai.